નમસ્કાર, હું આદર્શ છું. વેલકમ ટુ આદર્શ એજ્યુકેશન સોસાયટી.
Standard 9th, Subject Science, Chapter 50, Improvement in Food Resources. Dear students, in last video we have completed manure, fertilizers, irrigation, and today we will learn cropping patterns. See, what are the ways of cropping patterns? So different ways of growing the crops can be used to give the maximum benefit. For maximum benefit, what are the cropping patterns will be there, we will see. Okay, the first one is mixed cropping is given. Yes, what is which one? Mixed cropping. So what do you mean by mixed cropping? We will see that. See, mixed cropping is growing two or more crops simultaneously, added together, growing two or more crops same simultaneously on the same piece of land. Okay, for example, this is the land. The same piece of land. This is the land. Simultaneously, you have to grow that two or more crops. See, for example, it is given wheat and gram. So, for example, here wheat, in this way wheat here, and this side gram. See, simultaneously here and here. Or otherwise, wheat or mustard, or you can say wheat and here mustard you can take. Or you can take groundnut also and sunflower, or here groundnut and here sunflower. So means what? The same piece of land, you have to grow two or more crops simultaneously. This is called as mixed cropping. Okay, what happens by doing this? This reduces the risk and gives some as insurance against failure of the one of the crops. See, in this what happens? Suppose if it goes one crop failure, and at least the farmer will get this another crop benefit they will get. So in this way, they will not go completely lost. So suppose here, if completely wheat is gone, if something happened, or wheat survived insect or any other things, or any sort of disease, so completely wheat will go. So the farmers will get lost. At least if it is going from mixed crop, if one crop failures, another crop from the another crop they will get the benefit. So this is about the mixed cropping. So next one is intercropping methods. See, this is one. Now intercropping means what? Intercropping is growing of two or more crops simultaneously on the same piece of land in a definite pattern. Here, this is also two or more crops in the same piece of land in a definite pattern will be there. In a definite pattern means here, see that students. See, in the same piece of land, suppose that this is the land. Here one row, and here another, and here some others, and here suppose here it may be of is given here soybean and wheat, here soybean will be there, here soybean, and here and again soybean, again wheat. So like this, either 2 rows, 3 rows, or like this. See, intercropping is growing two or more crops simultaneously on the same piece of land in a definite patterns will be there. A few rows of one crop alternate with the few rows of second crop. One crop and again another crop, again same similar crop, and again one crop. So like this. See, for example, is given. For example, soybean and maize, bajra and cowpea. So like this way. Alternatively, the same thing you have to grow it. The crops are selected such that their nutrient requirements are different. So because soybean this nutrient requirements are different, and maize this require nutrient requirements are different. Okay, again, so that is why different crop will get different nutrients. See, for example, here soybean will at suppose potassium, and this one will be iron. So like this way, different crops need different nutrients. So this ensures. So what happens? Maximum utilization of the nutrients supplied, and also prevents pests also. This pest means destructive insects and diseases from spreading to all the plants belonging to the one crop in the field. Suppose this crop, any disease happened, and another crop will not get any sort of the disease. This way, both the crops can give better returns. So this is about the intercropping. So next one is crop rotation is given. Crop rotation. See, the growing of different crops on a piece of land. See, for example, the growing of different crops on a piece of land. Pre-plant section is known as crop rotation. So here crop you have to rotate. Pre-plant only, successive, depending upon the duration, depending upon the time, crop rotation is run for different combination, crop combinations also. See, for example, see the availability of the moisture and irrigation facilities decide the choice of the crop to be cultivated. After one harvest, you have to go for another crop. If the crop rotation is done properly, then 2 or 3 crops can grow in the year with good harvests. So here, so you have to grow for the rotations of the crops. And in a single year, you can grow 2 or 3 or more crops also. So this is about the crop rotation. Now we will see that crop rotation management, crop protection. So after the production, you have to go for protection. Fields crops are infested by many pests. A large number of weeds, unwanted weeds will be there, insect pests will be there, and disease will be there. This is causing microorganisms. If weeds and pests are not controlled at the appropriate time, then what they will do? They may damage the crops so much that most of the crop is lost. So the farmers will go for loss. So weeds, what about the weeds? Weeds are unwanted plants. So dear students, remember, what do you mean by weeds? Weeds are unwanted plants. Example is given: xanthium, paranthemum, cyperinus, rotundus. So these are the example of unwanted plants growing as is. They complete for food. So they will take along with the desirable crops, they will grow there and they complete the food, space and light. So that is why desirable plants, they will not get the food, space and light at proper amount. Weeds take up the nutrients and reduce the growth of the crop. So therefore, removal of the weeds from the cultivated fields during the early stage only of the crop growth is essential for the good harvest. So next one, generally pests attack the plants in 3 ways. Generally insects are attacking in 3 ways. So we have completed this insect attack will be 3 ways. So that is will be disease is the way of they put the root, stem and leaf. So what will do? They cut the root of what they will do? They cut the root, they bite the stem and they bite the leaf. So that is why the plants will not grow. They suck the cell sap. Cell sap means what? Cell sap means the fluid found in the vacuoles. Okay, and they bore into the stems and root. They made a hole and they will spoil this. So thus they affect the health of the crop and reducing the yields. So reducing the quantity. Okay, now next one is disease in the plants. So diseases in the plants. See, these diseases in the plants are caused by the pathogens. What is meant by pathogens? Disease causing microorganisms. They are called as pathogens, such as bacteria, fungi and virus. And these pathogens can be present in and transmitted through the soil, water and soil. So they will spread through the soil, through the water or through the air. So in this way, you have to control the diseases in the plants. So here, weeds, insects and diseases can be controlled by the various methods. Now, methods to control the weeds, insects and diseases. So what methods will be there? You'll see. Here, one of the most commonly used method is the use of pesticides. Pesticides are a substance used to kill the plants. Kill the disease about pesticides, the spraying medicines. See, one of the most commonly used methods is the use of the pesticides, spraying chemicals, which includes spraying medicines to kill the This all is which one insects. Okay, here given I will tell you the use of pesticides, which include herbicides. Herbicides means a substance used to kill the plants. Insecticides, a substance used to kill the insects. Fungicides, a substance used to kill the fungus. So these are all the chemicals. These chemicals are sprayed on crop plants or used for treating the seeds and soil. So either seeds or soil they are spraying. However, here also problem is what? Excessive use of these chemicals creates the problems. So if you are farmers using the excessive chemicals or excessive spraying medicines, so they will be harm to the soil or even the plant bodies. Since they can be poisonous to many plant and animal species and cause environmental pollution. So that will cause the pollution of in the environment. So then next one is weed control methods. See, next one, weed control methods. Weed control methods here include mechanical removal. So the farmers, they go for by hand mechanical removal the unwanted plants. This preventive methods such as proper seed bed preparation, whenever the soil preparations will be there, they can take out timely sowing the crops before growing the crops, intercropping and intercropping also, and crop rotation. These are all helps to weed control. And some other preventive measures against the pests are the use of resistant varieties of crops. So some crops are resistant; they are not able to hold any sort of the diseases easily. And another one is summer ploughing will be there. The fields are to be ploughed in the summer. So in which fields are ploughed in the deeper in the summer, so that to destroy the weeds and as well as pests. So this also can be is useful for the control of the weeds. So next one is storage of the grains. So after this one, storage of grains. Storage losses in agricultural produces can be very high. See, storage also properly, if we have not done, the farmers will go loss. Factors responsible are biotic as well as abiotic also. Here biotic and the living beings as well as abiotic also. So biotic will see insects, rodents, fungi, mites, minute insects, or like this we are given arnachid. So like this are all bacteria. These are all affected to the seeds. So that is why that should be properly stored. And another one is abiotic also. Proper temperature, if the inappropriate moisture, and if the proper temperature is not there, so then the seeds, what you have stored, that will spoil. So these factors cause degradation, reducing the quality and loss in the weight, and poor germinability. So afterwards, for germinating the seeds, this will not grow properly. Discoloration, all leading to poor marketability, and marketable in market also there will go the poor quality. So these factors can be controlled by the proper treatment and by systematic management of warehouses. So warehouses means what? A place for storing the large amount of the seeds. So that should be properly stored in the proper temperature, so insects and other viruses will not, or bacteria will not attack them. So like this. So preventive and controlling measures are used before the grains are stored for the future use. They include strict cleaning of produce before storage. So proper drying of the producing the first in the sunlight and then in the shade, and then in fumigation. Fumigation means applying smoke or vapors to keep the seeds well, and using the chemicals that will kill the pests. So these are the ways the farmers has to go for storing the grains, so that this will be benefit for the farmers and even for the marketing also. Okay, students, so what the ideas? So today what were you learned? Feed balance, crop protection and management, and methods to control insects and diseases, and storage of grains. Thank you. We will meet in the next video, animal husbandry, okay, and poultry farming. And
Thank you for joining us.